So here's sort of what happens in bloat, and this is hard to visualize, but you have to kind of conceptualize it in your head. Basically, you have your normal stomach here. So you have the esophagus coming down, goes into the stomach, food's broken up a little bit, and then exits through what we call the pylorus, or the antrum of the stomach down here, and then down into the duodenum. In bloat, for some reason, the gas in the stomach starts to really expand, and at the same time, the stomach starts to twist on itself. So basically, the stomach twists itself in a way that the esophagus gets twisted closed, and the duodenum gets twisted closed. So that's what's happened all the way over here. The antrum, which normally sits down here, is now sitting up here, and you can't really see it on this picture, but the esophagus and upper part of the stomach is twisted down and around and underneath, so it's twisted off down there. The stomach, meanwhile, because of the digestive processes, it just keeps filling with gas, they're just doing, there's nowhere for that gas to go. Normally, the dog would either burp it out, or it would pass back down into the intestines. If it can't do that, the stomach just keeps expanding with this gas, and this does two things. It risks rupture of the stomach, which sometimes can happen, and what it will also do is block return blood flow from the bottom half of the body. So all those veins will be compressed, and so the dog basically goes into what we call circulatory shock, which basically means they can't maintain their blood pressures because all of their blood is stuck down in the lower half of their body, and they can't get any blood up to their brain and the other vital organs. So this is just another example, kind of showing how this part of the stomach flips up this way, and then the top part kind of flips underneath. So now you're really kind of all messed up. And you just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And the way you go about treating these things, although I'll show you this first. This is a radiograph. This is an x-ray showing exactly what a bloat looks like. So this is all air in the stomach. This is lung over here. This is all air in the stomach. This is the antrum of the stomach that's up top. That should normally be sitting down here, but it's rotated all the way up. We call this the Popeye sign because it's kind of like if you think Popeye making a muscle and stuff like that. That's what they've equated it to. So as far as treatment, what we try to do is first get them on fluid therapy to stabilize them. The next thing we're going to try to do basically is what we call decompress the stomach. And we do that in one of two ways. We will try to pass a tube down the esophagus to try to twist it so that you sometimes can twist it to rotate it into the stomach to get that gas off. The other way we will do it, if it's a true emergency, is we will actually take large bore or large size needle catheters and we'll punch it right through the skin of the dog into the stomach and just let the gas escape from the needle. It sounds really hard, it sounds a little bit cruel, but the dogs are sedated and it's usually a life or death decision at that point. And if people think that's kind of weird, you should actually see the size of the what they call trocars and needles and things like that they'll use on cows when cows bloat. They'll go in with something that's about that big of a diameter and just punch it right into the rumen of the cow to get the pressure on. Things like that. After that, we'll usually go in to do an emergency surgery to untwist the stomach and get it back to its regular position and then clean any contents out. There's a huge risk when stuff twists on itself, blood supply is cut off. So you can have dead parts of the stomach, other dead aspects of the spleen and things like that. So you have to go in and cut all that stuff away to make sure that you don't leave any dying tissue in there. You flush out the stomach, and then pretty much after that, you intensively support these guys. While you're in there, usually, what you'll also do is what's called the stomach pexing. And what this basically is you're in there, you actually take part of the stomach and suture it right to the wall of the dog, the inside part of the dog. So this way, there's no way that stomach can then retwist and re-rotate around. It can still fill with gas, but it can't twist itself off, so that gas will have a place to escape. So that's what we call, tacking or stomach pexing, or a stomach tack. A couple of other things you can do to try to help prevent this. The first is prevent what we call binge eating. And this is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. If you have a bigger chested dog or whatever, you put the dog food bowl down, and within 5 seconds that food is gone. They don't even chew, they basically just inhale the food and swallow it whole and all that stuff. That can lead to them swallowing a lot of air and also a lot more gas being produced as the stomach tries to break that food down. So usually what we try to do is, there's special bowls now you can buy, but basically if you just spread his food out or put a huge rock right in the middle of his bowl, this way he has to eat around the rock. That actually prevents them from eating too quickly and hopefully chewing their food a little bit. You can moisten their dry food. That sometimes just helps prevent some of the gas buildup in the stomach. And of course, you know, and everybody does this, it's the same thing, you know, with us. You really don't want them doing any major physical activity within half an hour to an hour after them eating. So you don't want to feed your great Dane a whole huge meal and then go running with them in the park or something like that. Because, that's just a classic example of bloat just, you know, waiting to happen.